All right, we are back with a new video. So we have some pretty interesting polling information. And again, I know it's early. I know we just had an election about 5 months ago. However, we now have a second poll showing that Pierre Poilievre is now ahead. Abacus last week. Now we have Angus Reid this week, and even Main Street only had the Liberals ahead by 2. So it looks like those Nanos polls where you're seeing a 10 to 15 point Liberal lead are not very accurate, but we all knew that anyway, didn't we? So we're going to get into this, but before we do, please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really does help grow the channel, and I appreciate you guys so much for doing that for me. So this is from the Real Albanian Pat. Go give him a follow over on X, and he's got this Angus Reid poll. It says Conservatives at 40, Liberals at 38, NDP 10, Bloc at 8, Green at 2, Peoples at 1, others at 1. Here's the graph. So again, it's very close, it's very tight. It's not like Pierre Poilievre is running away with this and we're going to have an election anytime in the near future, but this is a good sign showing that the honeymoon period is clearly over. And just wait till 10 days from now, when Pierre's back in the House, it's going to get even worse, I think. And then he models it out here, so this would be a Conservative minority, 161 seats, to the Liberals 133, Bloc 36, NDP at 11, Green at 2. And as we all know, the Conservatives need 172 to hit the majority. In this poll, they don't get it, but at least they get the win. But in my opinion, they do need a majority, because if you only have a minority, other parties can team up against you and essentially stop you from passing any bills, because they can outvote you. So here's what the map looks like. Seeing a nice little blue wave here. I like it. Not a blue wave, but it's more blue than some of the other ones, especially here in southern Ontario. Toronto, of course, is the Great Red Wall. Pierre is going to have to crack that. There's a little bit of a crack here and here, but in order to get a majority, I do think Pierre's going to have to win a couple more seats in southern Ontario or out west in Vancouver. As you see, Greater Vancouver is still very red, just like Toronto. So that's not too good. Now, when we go over here, let me just move myself. Oops. Sorry about that. Just going to move myself up here. So they say 40%. This is from 338. So Atlantic Canada, still pretty red. That's normal. Quebec still pretty red. It's tied actually in Ontario, which is pretty interesting. But, we need a little bit more of a lead there in Ontario to make it damage. And then, of course, the Prairie provinces, Conservative. And then British Columbia, the Conservatives are up ahead by 3 points. When we go to gender, female voters, and again, I'm not trying to generalize anybody, whether you're female or if you're a boomer, but female boomers do tend to vote more towards the Liberal side. So if you know these people, if these are some of your colleagues, please help me out, help the country out, and do whatever you can to help convince them that markcarney is not the right guy for the job. Now, male voters, they're on the Conservative side by 12. 9 points for the female Liberal voters, but there's still a lot of females who vote Conservative, a lot more to the NDP as well. But hey, we can always we got time to convince them to come over to the right side. And then break down by age group, 18 to 34. It's very close. Liberals up by 1. 35 to 54 though, 12-point lead for the Conservatives, and then only a 4-point lead for the Liberals amongst late Gen Xers and Boomers. So it's not too bad, but there's still too many people out there who just don't. They're just not willing to turn on markcarney quite yet. I think that's going to change in the very short future, but right now they are still on his side. They're going to give him, in my opinion, they're going to give him at least a year total. So we'll see what where this heads back in March or April of 2026. Then the impression favorability of markcarney. Remember Spark Insights? They had that ridiculous number, 68% approval rating. Well, again, another pollster showing that it's not above 55. It's 51. Abacus has 50. Negative favorability is 41. It was 29 at one point, but there was the unsure group here. They were at 15%. Now it's at 8. Most of those people have gone negative towards markcarney, because even though they were like, hey, let's give him a chance, some swing voters were like, I was going to vote Conservative, but I decided not to. They are starting to turn on him already. Some people already know they have absolutely made a pretty big mistake, in their own opinion, not just mine. Negative unfavorable of Pierre Poilievre, it's 58%. So that's not great. Only a positive favorable of 36%. Now, conservatives usually in this country, because it is a very liberal country, this isn't abnormal, but he does need to close the gap there so that it's not so big of a gap. But he does need to, and again, as people turn on Carney, this number here is going to go up. This was kind of funny. I wasn't even going to include this, but impression of Don Davies, who is the interim NDP leader, 64% say they don't know. 27 are negative, only 9 are favorable on him. So I don't know if he's even going to run to be the continuous leader of the NDP or what's going on there, but this is a very strange number. But again, we are in very strange times politically, and we just had a very strange election. But either way, we are seeing a massive bump here for the conservatives. And again, you see Nanos. Like, look at some of these other pollsters here. So there's Main Street. They only have them up by 2, but then Liaison has Liberals up by 9, Nanos by 11, and then 10. Abacus, Conservative plus 2. So there's about a 12-point swing in the differences of the polls right now. So it's very interesting to see this. But again, as long as we continue to hold Mark Carney accountable, which again, Pierre Poilievre and his Conservative team are going to be doing that in just 10 days. So we don't have that much longer to wait for this. And I think these numbers are going to continue to sour for Mark Carney. He's a quote-unquote businessman. He's a banker. He's not a politician. He's not used to being grilled the way he's about to get grilled. And you can see it in some of the media scrums where Mark Carney is getting visibly bothered by some of these questions. And if they push back, he's annoyed by it and he's dismissive at times. That's not going to go well against Pierre Poilievre. Pierre Poilievre is going to go after him, and he's going to go after him hard, as he should. I know some people don't like the whole attack dog thing, but listen, he's very good at it. He's very good at exposing the government. That's what the leader of the official opposition is supposed to do. So it shouldn't even be a bad thing, but because they're trying to paint him like Trump, they're trying to make him look like Trump, they want people to think he sounds like Trump, that he's mean like Trump, which he isn't. He's never gone after anybody personally. He's had opportunities to do it like Trump did. Trump took those opportunities. Pierre backs off on that. He sticks to policies, politics, the way that the government is functioning. He sticks to the business part of it, the politics part of it, not the personal part of it. So that's one huge difference between them right there. So again, if you're a swing voter and you're watching this, just understand, hey, it's okay. We all make mistakes, but just come back over to the right side, okay? We all forgive you. But let's not do this again, okay? Let's make sure that after 4 terms that the Liberals will have, they get out, they will have to regroup and finally start doing things that people actually want them to do instead of just failing upwards. But either way, let me know what you guys think. And again, please don't forget to share this, like, and subscribe, and I'll be back shortly with a new one.